Well, g'day and welcome to the National Virtual Expo. I'm your host, Rob Malicki, coming to you today from Gadigal Land in Sydney. And welcome to this session on a university that the more I look at it, the more I like it. Today, we are talking about Bond University on the Gold Coast. And this is an institution that, if you haven't heard of it before, I haven't spent a lot of time looking at it, absolutely has some knockout areas of academic strength and some elements of its student experience that you simply will not find anywhere else. I'm very glad today to be joined by Shane Redden from the Bond University team. Shane, welcome to the National Virtual Expo.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for having us. And yeah, thanks for your time and letting us present on Bond.
You know what, like without a word of a lie, Bond University is one of the institutions that just keeps impressing me the more I get to know about the institution. I think I was on campus last, probably around October last year. And I mean, I'm sure you're going to dive into all the details about areas of strength and student experience and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a university that's moving.
Yeah, deliberately different. Yeah.
Deliberately different. I love that. Well, you've got a presentation for us. So what I might do is I might get out of your way and let you get going on the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are here live, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat and we'll endeavour to answer them as we go along. If you're watching this on the recording, thanks so much for joining us and watching the recording. We do have a Discord for you and you can find the details down below in the description. Parents, we have a Facebook group. So same thing, if you've got questions about Bond that you'd like answered, make sure you drop them in below. And I know at the end of this presentation, Shane, I think you got a QR code for us. So if people want to get in touch with your team directly, they can do so. Okay.
Too easy.
Sounds good. So without further ado, I'm getting myself out of the way and passing over to Shane from Bond University.
Thanks, Rob. Yep. So my name's Shane. I'm from our Office of Future Students here at Bond University. So it's a pleasure to be able to talk to you about Bond and why it may be an option for you. But before I get started, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which the university now stands. That's the Kumbamerri people of the Yugambeh language, and just pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. So for those that are live listening to me today, if you could just ask yourself, why university? How do you best learn and what environment do I thrive in? And what I mean by that is, so why would you go to university? First and foremost, what is the course that you would like to do and what career path is that going to get you? What learning environment do you like to learn in? Is it face-to-face? Is it online? Do you like to be in big classes or do you like to be in small, personalised experience classes? These are things that I'll cover off today and help you answer those questions. So yeah, welcome to Australia's most ambitious university. So this is what our campus looks like. Our current brand is Ambition Loves Company, and our current students and our alumni were asked what terms resonate with them the most, and terms that they came back with unanimously was ambition. They like to be ambitious, even if they don't see themselves as ambitious, they would like to be ambitious. And the best way to do that is to surround yourself with like-minded people. And that hence our brand currently now, Ambition Loves Company. There are currently 44 universities in Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, but it is important to find the right one for you. Great. So it is important to find the right one for you. It's a very small portion of your life that you may spend at university as well. So you want that one to give you the best experience and the best place for your career as well, depending upon what career path you end up doing. A little bit about Bond's history. We are a very young university. So we started back in 1989. Back in the 80s, where we're located on the Gold Coast in Robina, there was nothing there. It was basically swampland. So the university being built there has created a lot of infrastructure, particularly in the allied health area around Bond University as well. So everything that you see in Varsity Lakes and in Robina itself does exist around Bond. And this is what the university does look like today. So we do have 4 main faculties or study areas that we do have available for you at Bond. The Faculty of Law, we also have Bond Business School, We have the Faculty of Society and Design as well, and the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine. And for those looking at a diploma pathway or a different pathway to university than your non-traditional ATAR pathway, we also have access to Bond University College as well.
Hey, Shane, can I just jump in there about the campus? Like, I remember the first time I walked onto Bond's campus. It was like a Thursday afternoon, like sort of about 5 p.m. Sunlight sort of filtering through the trees, and I remember walking down towards that sort of main sandstone area, and just it feels like the way a university experience should feel. I don't know
Yeah,
what it
absolutely.
was. Yeah, but it's just got this magical feel to it. Like the site is magnificently maintained. I mean, better than any uni in the country, I would say. And the facilities, which I'm sure you're going to get to, are just simply extraordinary. Yeah, I just love how over the years I've seen this institution sort of continue to evolve and invest. And you've got a brand new building getting put up right now, right? Are you going to talk about that a little later
Yeah,
on?
absolutely. Yeah. So we do have the Great Hall coming in, so the Connections Precinct, which will expand our medical and business programs. But yeah, we haven't had a Great Hall. So yeah, being able to have access to a Great Hall for things like a graduation ceremonies and stuff like that, yeah, it'll be amazing. So that'll come to play mid next year. So for students commencing next year, they'll get to see a little bit of the old and definitely the new.
Perfect. And look, if you're from somewhere else in Australia, or from overseas, welcome. And those, if you look at these photos, you see in the background there, that is the magnificent mighty Gold Coast, the skyline there on the horizon, and the Pacific Ocean just in the background. So, talk about location.
Yeah, so and if we're looking at driving terms, you're literally about 10-15 minutes away from there as well. So yeah, everything's really, really close and accessible as well.
Great, mate. I'll step out for a moment and let you keep going.
Okay, so a couple of other things here with Bond University. So we are Australia's only not-for-profit and private university in Australia. So what that means is, and how it could benefit you coming to a university that is not-for-profit, is all the money that is made by Bond actually goes back into facilities and professors for you, which does give us one of Australia's smallest student-to-teacher ratio, where your professors, it is 1 to 11. But also the facilities and everything are accessible. So we are a small university. We are intentionally and comfortably small. So even though our university there might look quite big in the photos, the facilities or what is available to you is quite accessible. We also have 56 prestigious partner universities for you to enrich and diversify your Bond experience through exchange. So I'll touch on these partner universities later. But we also compete nationally and internationally in 22 different competitive sports as well. And we also have classes in what you might not think are subjects available to you at university, but things like surfing, wine studies, and island ecology. The main reason for having subjects available in these study areas is because these are areas that are multi-billion-dollar industries that require medical practitioners, lawyers, corporate business related staff as well. So you may end up working in these industries. So it's good to know about those as well.
Hey, mate, can I jump in on the 1 in 11 staff to student ratio? So ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching along, that might have just washed over you. You got to hone in on that. In Australian higher education, a staff to student ratio of like 1 to 20 or 1 to 25 is not unusual. Some institutions are actually much bigger than that. Bond is not that. 1 to 11 is, Shane, correct me if I'm wrong, that's got to be one of the best in the world in terms of,
I don't know the world stat, but yeah, it's definitely one of the smallest in Australia. Yep, and worldwide, I think other universities would be hard to meet that as well.
Very hard to meet that, and that comes back to that private, not-for-profit mission. So if you're the kind of student, you want to get to know your lecturers, you want to have that relationship, you want to have the ability to reach out to them when you need more support or what have you. Like that staff to student ratio is literally the game changer in terms of your education and your job prospects.
Yeah,
back to you, mate.
We'll touch on all of that a little bit later as well. Now, the way that we do give back to students is recognising outstanding achievements. So we do have some of the most generous scholarships in Australia as well. Some that you can see that are listed here as well, but we have scholarships available academically, First Nations scholarships, sporting scholarships. We also have entrepreneurial scholarships available there as well. So there is quite a variety of scholarships available to apply for. I will touch on some key dates because scholarships for us are already open. They did open on the 1st of May, and they will start closing from the 30th of July. So if you are applying for the Vice Chancellor's Elite Scholarship, which is one of our 100% scholarships, or if you're from Western Australia applying for the Vinca Honan Scholarship, or any of our sporting scholarships, your closing date is the 30th of July. Even if you are applying for other scholarships that have a closing date of the 31st of August, if you're applying for any of those, your closing date is the 30th of July. For those not applying for any of those that I've just listed, then your closing date will be the 31st of August. But key tip is to make sure that you do have to have a course application in first. And for Year 12s each year, you are available to apply to bond straight away from January. And I'll walk through the applications towards the end, but basically we don't use the admission centres. You can just apply directly through our website. And then once you've got a course application, and that opens up basically the scholarship portal for you to be able to attach a scholarship application to your course application. I was just talking about this with Rob. We are a deliberately different university. So we have rated as Australia's top university for teaching quality. The Australian Financial Review has rated us the best teaching university in Australia in 2025. Like I touched on before, we do have Australia's best student to teacher ratio of 1:11. So we do often say there is no back row at Bond. But the other thing that we do offer as well is an accelerated timetable for you. So we do use trimesters. We do have 3 semesters a year. So you have the January intake, your May semester, and your September semester as well. So you are doing 3 semesters in a year. Now, I think what a lot of people do, I think when they hear that we do trimesters, is that it's going to be way more intense, which is not the case at all. It is about 14 to 15 weeks for a semester, even at the other universities. We just like being at Bond. So for those good at maths, 14 to 15 weeks goes into 52 3 times. We're generally speaking around about 9 to 10 weeks off a year as well. So you don't get the big summer break, but you do get about 5 weeks off over Christmas, and then 2-week breaks in between all the semesters throughout the year. But with that student to teacher ratio, it does allow us to personalize your learning experience. Our professors love learning the way you learn best and really tailor their teaching to how you learn best as well. So we do also rate number 1 there for student support. You can see there we rated 87 out of 100. These are for some of the support services available to you at Bond, like our Academic Skills Centre, for example, our Career Development Centre for you to, not just to help you get your first job, but once you're a Bondie, you are a Bondie for life. So you do have access to our Career Development Centre for life as well. So you might be in your 40s going for a promotion at work. You can also come back and get assistance from our Career Development Centre with that. We also have 24-hour security available to you at Bond. We're very, very much focused on student wellness and support as well. So you have a lot of access there, as well as a medical centre that is available for you at Bond as well on the campus. So these are all the sort of, and I think one thing I would like to touch on there is that being a small university, even though our support services do rate 87 out of 100, and they rate quite highly, they are attainable because you're not competing with 80 to 100,000 students for these services. We have just over 4,000 students on campus each year. So these support services provided are very much attainable.
Yeah, if I could jump in there, Shane, the career support I find is phenomenal. Like that's something that really struck me when I've been visiting the institution, and the sense of community too, right? I recall last time I was on campus, I was standing at that beautiful sculpture that's sort of under the amazing sandstone archway on the campus, and I was with one of your student ambassadors, and he said to me, "Oh, look closely at the sculpture." And I kind of leaned in closely at the sculpture. I'm like, "Oh, it's got names on it." And he said, "That's got the names of everyone that's ever graduated from Bond." And I went, "Wow, that's amazing."
Yeah,
that's
at the 30-year mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just called Limitless, and yeah, it's literally got every graduate from Bond for the first 30 years is on that statue, which is kind of cool. And I guess that's the benefit of being small as well, as our alumni network is 30,000 students. It's not 30,000 students a year.
Yeah.
And in terms of that community aspect, Bondies love to give back to Bondies. So that Career Development Centre is really, really helpful, because our alumni are quite often reached out to support current Bondies or former Bondies looking for their next career move.
Yeah, look, I'd love to just double click on that for a second, because you know, when you go to uni, if you're one of 10,000 graduates or 20,000 graduates out of institution, nothing wrong with that, right? Like, higher education is transformative, but you know, when you get out into the workforce, if you end up running into somebody, oh, you went to, you know, to my uni, great, that's about as much as your interaction is. Whereas the fact, like, I really feel that Bond University is one of the very few institutions in Australia where, having been a student there and being a graduate of Bond, genuinely means some sort of ongoing connection with other, as you say, Shane, with other Bondies. That's not something that you can say about very many institutions, or maybe you could say it about a section of institution, their law school or something like that. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching along, I just want to highlight that as being something that's truly unique about this institution compared to others. Back to you, mate. I'm going to jump out.
No trouble at all. And so I did touch on this stat before. So we did rate 99 out of 100 as the best teaching university by the Australian Financial Review in 2025. We jokingly say we don't know where we lost our 1 point. But in saying that, by having the student to teacher ratio of 1 to 11 as well, as a professor, like, you don't want to spend all of your time marking assessments and that sort of thing as well. So you do actually get a lot more time for research and being able to provide additional support to your students as a professor. So do we attract the best professors in Australia? In my opinion, I think so, purely because they are able to get to know the student in a one-on-one capacity. They really know that, we jokingly say, like, they'll even know the students' coffee orders. But in jokingly saying that, they do, and they know them that well, but they learn their teaching, they learn their best learning style and tailor their teaching for that, and are available to provide additional support. Most of the professors have to be in their office as well for open door hours each week as well. So they're available there to be able to go and ask questions, and very much accessible. You're not just sending an email to get help with an assessment and hearing back a few days or a week later. You can go and ask the professor in a face-to-face capacity, and they'll know you by name.
Hey, Shane, you've got a question that's come in from the chat from Isabella. She's just asking about the courses that the university provides. I know you mentioned the kind of faculties, but and Isabella, if you're watching on, like, maybe jump in, and if there's something that you're specifically thinking about, Shane can maybe hone in on that. But just once again, mate, like, the big areas that people can study at Bond.
Yeah. So we do have our faculties of business, law, health and medicine, and society and design. They're our 4 main faculties, but I will break down the study areas towards the end of the presentation as well, of what is available at Bond as well. We don't do everything. We just do what we're good at, but I'll touch on what we do.
Okay, excellent.
Excellent, and that is the next slide.
And there it is.
The study areas
there it
is. So, timely question. I do apologise. I am on one monitor at the moment, so I'm being surprised with the slides as well. But yeah, these are the study areas that we do have access to at Bond. So, actuarial science and data analytics, architecture. Now, these aren't. We don't just do 10 degrees. There are degrees within these study areas as well. Okay, but yeah, so business, commerce, entrepreneurship there. You've got your communication and creative media as well. You've got construction, property and planning, health, medicine, and biomedical and sports sciences. So in our health faculty, generally speaking, it's the medical program or allied health that we have access to, and biomedical science. Then you've got international relations there, politics and arts, our law faculty as well, project management as well there, and you've got psychology, criminology, and social science. So for some people on the live stream, maybe your study area isn't there, but for these study areas that we do, we believe we are very good at, and we'd like to think that we've got, and the reason why we do these ones is because we've got networks built. We really focus for you beyond Bond, and these are the areas that we have networks built where we like to think, we can never say guarantee you a job, but we like to think that we can give you the skills to nail your first interview. And we do have a new degree coming into play as well. So we are entering the AI space with a Bachelor of Enterprise Artificial Intelligence there. This degree really marries up nicely between AI and business. So we'll focus on how do you use AI, the programming, the data side of AI as well. Some digital strategy and innovation there as well, but it will also focus on how to use AI in business and in the corporate sector as well. So this will be one that it will come into play in 2027. If you do want to have, I guess, some experience before making that decision on doing this degree, and if you have capacity to get to the Gold Coast, we are running an Enterprise AI in Action Day, which will be held at Bond University on Thursday, the 4th of June. You just need to scan that QR code there to register. But this will be a really good day of a taste test of what this degree will do. What are the kind of roles that are going to be available to you by doing this degree? I was looking at a stat earlier today that I think it was back in 2010, there was around about 2,000 jobs related to AI available. And as of 2024, that number's gone up to 24,000. This is just in Australia alone. So this is something that is, definitely growing and going to be more and more in the workforce. We're hearing a lot more now that there are jobs out there that require AI experience. So this is something that will be big, and we're glad we're one of the first to have a degree in this space.
Yeah, that's fantastic, mate. And honestly, people watching along, like even if you're thinking about doing a discipline like health or education or something in those spaces, this technology is literally going to affect every industry. We do have some sessions on AI as part of this virtual expo. You can come along and hear more about what's going on. But really, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all that Bond has launched a degree in that space, because once again, wanting to make sure that students have access to the technology and understanding that they need for the workforce and their careers. This makes absolute sense.
Absolutely. I did say before, there is no Bond University. So just want to touch on when you do go to university, generally speaking, for each subject, you'll do traditionally a lecture and a tutorial. Our lectures, we don't even call lectures at Bond, because we do like that two-way communication aspect. So you'll see there at another university, you might have 300 students in those big lecture theatres. We don't have those, hence why we're building a great hall right now. But that little square in the middle there, this is what it looks like to be in a lecture or a forum at Bond. So you'll see there's around about 30 students, which is, I think, still smaller than most unis' tutorial sizes. We have a very diverse class as well. So you'll notice there that about a third of our students do come from local, and by local I mean Gold Coast and Brisbane, but also a third of our students do come from interstate and regional Queensland, and a third of our students are international as well. So you'll hear this phrase a lot, that successful people keep their network small. So you'll have a very diverse and very small network at Bond, but you'll also be able to utilize that network internationally as well. Something that a lot of our students do is they'll come to Bond, and for example, that Gold Coast student up the top there might make best friends with the Toronto student. And then that student ends up going and staying with that person's family for their exchange semester, which is a really, really cool way to then get to know people, but you're also being looked after because your parents are happy that you're with your friend's family as well. So this is something that's very big at Bond. Talking of exchange, our alumni network is currently more than 30,000 alumni across more than 120 countries. But we also, like I mentioned earlier, the 56 partner universities across the globe. So we currently have 12 in North America. We have access to 28 in Europe and 16 in Asia. These universities have been handpicked because they're close to our style of degree as well, and the content of these degrees offered from these universities marry up the closest with our curriculum as well. So something that you may experience at another university is that you might lose time by going on exchange because the semester timings don't marry up. But with the trimester model, our third semester each year, actually, if you're looking to go to the Northern Hemisphere to do your exchange semester, you don't lose any time. It actually is quite similar. And that's why we have a lot of exchange kids from international come and do their semester at Bond in that third semester as well.
Sorry,
yes, we do accelerated degrees.
One came in. Sorry to jump in on you there.
Yeah.
What about internships and practical learning? I'm not sure if you come to that a little bit later. We just had a question come through saying, are there any internships or practical learning opportunities?
Yes, and I'll touch on that a little bit later. But basically, yeah, the networks that we have built is giving everybody the access to being able to. We focus really hard on networking throughout your degree so that you're best prepared for the job. And we like to think a lot of our students will have their jobs lined up before graduating. So we have you networking and doing those practical internships early on. That's obviously talking very broadly around all degrees. But yeah, happy to talk one-on-one as well towards the end. There'll be a QR code there as well for contact us to talk individually for study areas.
Okay, thanks, mate.
No worries. So yeah, taking the fast lane at Bond. So we do accelerated degrees with the trimester model. So you can see there a 3-year degree for commerce, for example, is done in 2 years at Bond by being able to do 3 semesters in a year. So for most people that just do a single degree, a bachelor's, which takes 2 years, that would otherwise take 3 years at another university, they're going to enter the workforce quicker, a year ahead of their cohort leaving school. So they're actually competing with jobs from the year 12 that graduated the year before them, compared to doing a 3-year degree and graduating at the same time as the other universities. So by being able to do that, you are entering the workforce quicker, and oops, I didn't mean to click that. Yeah, you're entering the workforce quicker and you're able to do that degree much faster, which is a pro for a lot, being able to get into that workforce quicker. We also do core curriculums at Bond as well. So these are 3 subjects that you'll do in your first 3 semesters on critical thinking and communication, collaboration, teams and leadership, and responsibility, integrity, and civic discourse. These 3 curriculums really help with making you that best product. So even though that you are looking at, when that question came in on internships and practical workshops, those sort of things, this is another thing that we do at Bond to make sure that you are going to be ready beyond Bond. Being able to give you the skills to be able to critically think and debate gives you better skills in our forums as well, to be able to raise questions with our professors. It gives you those debating skills to ask questions. There's nowhere to hide at Bond as well, because the class, if you're in a tutorial with 11 people, you need the confidence to be able to ask questions and be asked questions as well. So by having these core curriculums in play there, they really, really do make a Bond graduate, in my opinion, a far better product. Especially when competing for jobs at the end of their degree. The program Beyond Bond as well is a professional development and community engagement tool that they have access to throughout the course of their degree as well. I believe the next slide goes into these are little online tools that you have access to that you need to complete your degree at Bond as well. But things like emotional intelligence, digital literacy, problem solving, and decision making. These are little online modules that you get to complete just to make yourself, I guess, focusing on what is there for you at the end of Bond. The team in Beyond Bond really work with you very closely in conjunction with also like things like the Career Development Centre as well there, to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward to being able to be not just in a job at the end of your degree, but in your chosen field and taking steps towards the dream job and the reason why you came to university as well.
Sorry, Shane, I have to jump in here, mate, because like this is one of the key things I think a lot of people don't think about before they go to university. You need to remember that if you walk out of a university with a degree, okay, maybe you're one of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 graduates that have that same sort of degree. So what's going to make you stand out? Well, it's exactly this kind of program like Beyond Bond, which is giving you all of these other skills, which is exactly what employers are looking for. So if you're not going to an institution that's actually giving you the opportunity to learn those skills straight out of the gate, you're going in to compete against people that do have those skills. So do you want them or do you not want them? And so like to that extent, like you've got to think about not just I'm going to uni, I'm going to do a degree, I'm going to study, but what else are you going to do there? You know, are you going to go to Bond and get involved in sport? I'm sure you're going to talk about sport, Shane. You've got to do Beyond Bond. The entrepreneurship stuff at Bond is fantastic. Like you've got to be thinking outside the box because those are the skills and the community, the network that are going to put you at the top of the pile when it comes to getting a job later on.
Yeah.
And rant.
And again, like the portal that you use for the Beyond Bond program is great for self-reflection as well. So we're very big on giving you the tools to be able to be reflective and how do you make better steps and improvements in not just your degree, but you also have access to this portal for life as well. So this is not something that you just have access to whilst you're at Bond. Again, this is another tool that you can use to continue to self-reflect in your work life as well. And something that a lot of our alumni do still use today.
Excellent, mate. Back to you.
Speaking of our alumni, these are just a hand select few companies that our alumni are based at. So the most common position title for alumni from our business school is director. So having director level people at companies like what's listed on the screen there really opens up some doors for you at Bond as well. These are where graduate programs are selected from, and because of the work ethic and the product that we make you at being a Bond graduate, our alumni do resonate quite highly with people doing their degrees through Bond. And because they know your work ethic and how you're going to be as a graduate product, they do seek graduates from Bond as well. So this is how our alumni network also give back as well, is by looking for Bondies to potentially for their graduates at some of these locations as well. Another program that you'd have access to at Bond is called Transformer. So this is our entrepreneurial program, which is great because you do not have to be studying business to have access to this program. So you might be a medical student or a law student or an architecture student, but you do have an idea for a business to get off the ground. You can then come to Transformer with your business idea. Our team will help you with looking at your business plan, what pain point are you addressing in the market, and if we feel like we can help you get that business off the ground, we will help you get that business off the ground. So this is something that you do have access to for any study area. I just want to reiterate, which is really, really cool, because like a lot of people do have little side hustles at the moment and a lot of people have brought their ideas to Transformer, and that's become their main source of income, even though that might have been the plan when they commenced their degree as well. So this is a really, really cool platform if you have got an entrepreneurial mind. So yes, the return on investment for coming to Bond. So by being able to do a degree over 2 years and looking at the average cost of going to uni elsewhere, we may also be one of the most cost-effective ways of going to university, considering that the average graduate of a bachelor's degree at Bond's full-time salary when leaving Bond is $75K in that third year if they were to graduate from a 2-year degree. So being able to have access to that and doing your degree quicker, saving on, I guess, cost of living expenses for 3 years as opposed to 2 as well. This is where Bond may be more attainable for a lot of students than they may think. And also, yes, we do have access to fee help, which is the exact same as HECS as well. So you can offset up to 129K to student loan, and it works the exact same way as HECS. as well. So, and repay that as you start earning an income, which is the common misconception, because we hear quite often that kids thought that they had to prepay to come to bond. Okay, not the case. You do have access to that student loan. So fee help, yep, you do start repaying that back from when you start earning $67,000 a year. Okay, and just to reiterate, it does work the exact same way as HEX as well. So it's an interest-free loan provided by the Australian government that helps you pay your tuition fees and slowly repay that back once you start earning an income. The Gold Coast. So yes, we're not a multi-campus university. We have the one campus on the Gold Coast. In saying that, we do have our Institute of Health and Sport, which is about a 5-minute drive away, which is right next to Seabus Stadium, where the Gold Coast Titans play. And we do also have a postgrad campus up in Brisbane. But for those looking for undergraduate studies, yeah, you'll more than likely be at our main campus, or if you're doing an allied health, you may have access to the Institute of Health and Sport about 5-10 minutes down the road as well. But looking at the Gold Coast, if you are looking to relocate, we do have 300 days of sunshine every year, with days without rain. And you can see there, it looks like we have 3 seasons of summer. Well, coming where I originally come from, those temperatures. And yes, just coming out of April, where it was still quite humid and warm and we were still going to the beach. Yeah, it was very nice to be on the Gold Coast at that time. The other thing with the Gold Coast as well, obviously, we were looking at the photo before where we were overseeing how far the skyline, the beaches were from campus. But being able to have access to 2 of the biggest airports in Australia as well, Gold Coast and Brisbane Airport, which is about an hour away, to be able to get away and travel and make it easy for those looking to travel interstate for university to get back home. Yeah, Gold Coast is quite easy to get back home and visit loved ones, or if you're looking to holiday or go on exchange. Yeah, the Gold Coast is quite transient in that space.
Yeah, and look, this is one of, like, there aren't that many destinations in Australia that I reckon people are actively, absolutely drawn to. And obviously the Gold Coast with the magnificent beaches, the lifestyle, the city vibes, like, you got access to everything you can want in a place like the coast, but you know, all the opportunity, but like a lower level of stress as well.
Yes.
And I just think there's very few, but maybe people move to, you know, Tasmania resonates to you. Okay, awesome. But if you like Tasmania, you know, like the Gold Coast is warm. So,
yeah.
And it's got the beaches. Yeah. So it's the kind of place that will draw people in. And there are probably very few institutions around the country that can genuinely speak hand on heart and say, yeah, we absolutely pull people from all over Australia as well as around the world.
Yeah. Brilliant. So if you are relocating from interstate, there are some accommodation options for you. Just bear in mind, on-campus accommodation, we have enough beds for around about a quarter of our students at any one point in time. So it is quite competitive. It's not competitive to, I guess, come to Bond as a student, but it is for accommodation if you're wanting to stay on campus. But in saying that, the off-campus accommodation is quite good, because we do have a variety, and the benefit of Bond being there first, the infrastructure that is around Bond University and Robina itself, a lot of student housing off campus is available there as well to apply for. So I'd apply for both, would be my hot tip. Apply for on-campus accommodation, but also come up with an off-campus backup. There is some great info on our website with regards to both. Really easy to find. Just Google Bond on campus and Bond off campus accommodation. And in terms of our pricing for on-campus accommodation, it is very, very competitive compared to other universities that we've compared our prices to.
Once again, I'll just jump in on that too. Like a lot of people, Shane, might not think about going and living on campus. It's kind of quite traditional in Australia to stay home or what have you, or moving away. You know, people don't think that Australians move away. It's actually not true. I mean, as you say, 1/3 of Bond students come from somewhere else.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
that on-campus living experience, whatever preconceptions you have in your head, just throw them away, because it is an absolutely unique experience. It's a chance to get part of social life, to have a social network around you, build community, it's actually nothing what you probably imagine if you've seen American teen movies and stuff like that. It's actually a structured, supportive, positive environment. And I'll speak honestly, Shane, like for many years, I was like, no, why would you move away for uni? And maybe in like the last 5 or 8 years, my view has completely shifted, because I have seen just the incredible support and services that are provided to students that take up that experience.
Yeah, and I guess this is the benefit, I guess, again, of being small. With being a small university, you're not making 50 to 60 acquaintances. You're making 11 really, really close friends. So what we find a lot of our students do is the vast majority doing a single bachelor's degree really quickly realize they're going to be a first year student and a last year student. That's it. What they will do is they'll probably do the first 1 or 2 semesters on campus, but then once they've found their clique and their group, they'll try to find somewhere to move in together to get that experience as well, because we are on the Gold Coast as well, so they might want to be closer to the beach, those sort of things, or whatever is their interest to them, they might move closer to that as well, and still have access to bond as well.
So if you're in the position to be able to do that, like, take that up, ladies and gentlemen. How many times in your life are you going to get to have an experience like this? The full uni experience, excellent institution, great small class sizes, guidance, support, and a community around you that's tight. Like, to me, if you have that opportunity, just seize it, because it only comes to you literally once in your life, and now's the moment.
And one thing I don't think I did touch on when I was talking about our classes as well is everything is in person. So a lot of research has gone into the best way to learn, and we believe the best way to learn is in a face-to-face capacity. So there is nothing online available to you at Bond other than that little Beyond Bond program that you have the online modules for. But in terms of lectures and tutorials, everything is done in person in small classes. So you're not listening to a recorded lecture. Every forum is done live in front of you. So everything is current, relevant. And you always have the ability to ask questions. So you're not in a space where you're being told to go and listen to a lecture by studying online. And that's what I talked about earlier, is like, find the way that you learn best. And face-to-face, being completely face-to-face might not be for everybody, but for the vast majority, that is the best way to learn.
I completely agree, mate. Like, I've just hear stories of people now going into lectures in big universities and there's nobody there. Like, everybody's either watching online live, or more likely just watching a recording later. Like, if you want the real university experience, there's a handful of unis still around the country that basically do all or absolute majority of their classes in person, Bond being one of them. Like, once again, seize that opportunity, because this is what uni's meant to be about. It's about the people that you meet, the opportunities that you have, not just in class, but outside as well. So get on campus and have that experience.
Perfect. So I guess for high school students, if you're in year 11 or 12 listening, there are a variety of ways that you can taste test Bond. We have experience days available for you for all of our study areas. Details for each one, I won't go into each one, but the details are available on the website. Just look up experience days. They're great single days to be able to get a taste test of what a study area might look like and the different degrees that might be available. So if you know that you want to study in health, for example, but you're not sure exactly where, that's a good way to go and get exposed to each one. The second way is we have a program called Learn for Credit, where we do these 1 or 2 day workshops. I'll go to those in a little bit more detail on the next slide, but also touch on the next one. And we also have a program called Student for a Semester. So these would be for the Student for a Semester program would be for locals, obviously, because this is where a high school student can actually come and do a full subject and get the full experience of being a Bond student by studying a subject before commencing at Bond whilst they're in year 11 or 12. And they can do that for a full semester. So just on the next slide here, Learn for Credit. Short course offerings, a taste of university study through a variety of study areas. There are a variety of programs to pick from. This is for year 11 and 12 students wanting to explore more certain interest areas. There's no academic ranking requirement to be able to do these. The commitment for doing one of these Learn for Credit courses would be around about 24 hours total, either 1 or 2 days on campus for 5 or 6 hours at a time, and then the assessment components would take that to 24 hours. What you get on completion is you do receive a certificate of achievement. And for those students that do complete 5 of those, you are eligible for credit towards a bond subject and 2 QCE points. Now, you can pick how you choose to use the Learn for Credit program. You can also just use the Learn for Credit program to just taste test what it's like without doing the assessment component. Obviously, you wouldn't get the credits for those if you were to do 5, but you can do that as well if you're worried about having to do assessments and that sort of thing, but just see what it's like in a bond classroom. And then for those local that are within a driving distance, Student for a Semester is a great way to do a university subject whilst you're year 11 and 12. You do have to be in the top 30% of your year level at your school. And the full bond semester of weekly on-campus classes and assessment and exams is what you'll be attending during. So we work with you on scheduling, and we just make sure that that it works around your schooling schedule and you're able to do the forum and tutorials required. And there's potential academic credit there towards a bond degree as well, so on passing the subject, which means that you may get the opportunity there to do 1 less subject when you do come to bond as well.
Accelerated, mate.
Accelerated, yeah.
Accelerated.
Fine, but yes, 1 semester you might do 3 subjects instead of 4. So yeah.
Yeah, look, what a great. So if you are a high school student, this is the kind of opportunity that you don't get. You absolutely do not get this everywhere. The ability to be able to go and have a taste test in advance. You know, one of the biggest things, Shane, that I hear from, like hundreds of people I speak to, thousands of people in a year, people just have that uncertainty about what's the right thing to go and do, after school. We'll go try something. $100. Sorry, I mean, and maybe you not hit your parents up to pay that $100. Like, that's peanuts for a taste test of something. So this is an incredible opportunity for you to actually start to figure out what lines up best for you, because studying at university level in a class is very different to like doing those subjects at school. So if you're torn on 2 subjects, perfect way for you to go and experience a bit of both, and decide which one might line up best with you.
Yeah, and there's a events calendar available online as well to show you when the Learn for Credits are as well. So for those interstate, that it might tee up with if you were traveling to the Gold Coast to come and see Bond as well, you might be able to also do one of those as well for a day or 2.
Nice.
Next cheeky plug. So our open day is the 25th of July. So please register via the link there. We also have an interstate experience for year 12 students as well, that you can find on the website as well, just by looking up open day interstate experience. So yeah, the more the merrier for open day. It's a really great opportunity just to go and have a chat to a variety of academics, some current students as well, and see what their experiences are like, and just see whether the university is for you. Yeah, highly encourage you to attend open day, because it's just a great way and an easy way to get access to so many areas, and also our support services as well. Attend open day as well, so you can actually have a chat with them and see what support services there are available for you as well. I know, Rob, I'll just touch on sport for a minute, because the slide was a video, so I have removed that slide. But in terms, if you are an elite athlete, so I think if AIS grade you or your sport as elite, we do place you in the elite athlete program as well, where you do have, we really work with you on things like scheduling. So you might have training and a quiz on at the same time, and we'll try to move the quiz so you can still attend training, because we know that if you are an elite athlete, you're probably looking to play your chosen sport professionally, and that your professional years are going to be there earlier for you. So yeah, we work with you on scheduling and being able to do your degree slower, so you can focus on those professional years as well. We do play some sports semi-professionally as well, where like our AFL team, for example, is a feeder for the VFL, AFL. You also got our rugby team as well, which plays at a very high level, and also netball and swimming. Couldn't tell you because the board's too big for how many Olympians we've had come through
I know
Bond.
it's huge, isn't it?
Um,
It's actually huge.
I haven't sat there and counted it, but it is a lot. So if you ever get the opportunity to come to Bond, definitely have a look. The gym and the high performance training center, the gym that you do have access to, and I will mention that the gym is free. You don't have to pay for that as an additional cost by coming to Bond. It is one of the biggest ones in the Southern Hemisphere, the university gyms. So, and being a small university, you're not sitting there waiting for machines. Every time we do a campus tour where I get to see or show off the gym to prospective students, yeah, there's always a heap of machines free, and it looks like it's,
wow, right?
even though
Yeah,
it's busy,
you walk in
it
there,
still
and
looks empty.
vast room, like so big, and state of the art equipment, full size Olympic swimming pool, and free. That like, so I'm going to say this. There are a few unis in the country that offer free gyms. I'm putting those in inverted commas because it's like a little
And parking, Rob, and parking.
Yes, and the parking, yeah. But the gym is like a free gym is like a little shoebox with 10 machines. Like Bonds University is as good as any professional gym that you would go and pay a lot of money for, and that's yours to use as a student. And one of the things I love is you go upstairs and you got all of the torches, the Olympic torches, as a display. That's. Do you want to just mention what that is? Because I think that's just it's like a museum piece, right? It's amazing.
Yeah. So the Hoog Antique Room has the collection of. So Hoog Antique is a former Bondy, and he houses his collection of Olympic torches there at Bond, and he has one from every single Olympics from the start, and it's really cool how I managed to have a chat with him earlier this year actually, and how he started getting into that. And he jokingly said, like, now I just have to focus on getting one more every 4 years. Right at the start, because he started building the collection in the early 2000s. He was a torch runner for the Sydney 2000 Olympics as well. So that's where he started the idea for the collection. And he's managed to get one from every Olympic so far. So that was the hard work at the start, but now it's just getting one every 4 years. So, but it's really cool to go and see. Yeah.
Awesome. And mate, you did mention the free parking. Shout out on that, because people don't think it's one of those things a lot of people don't think about. But I remember going to, won't name them, university not too far from where I live. And I looked up online. I was like, I wonder how much parking is going to cost me if I drive over. It was $80 for a day to go and park there for the day. And like literally thousands of dollars if you wanted to buy a parking permit as a student. So this is like not negligible money. Like that's if you're working those hours, you don't need to go work your casual job at the as a barista, because you don't have to pay for your parking. You can go use the gym instead.
And some of the busy times, it might take you 15 or 20 minutes to find a park, but they're only in like really busy times of the day. For example, you have something starting at 10 or 11 or 12 when all the tutorials and forums are running. But in saying that, you'll definitely find one, because we have access to the same park, being staff there as well, and so we're doing the same hunt. But it's great to have free parking where even as a staff member we don't have to pay for it either.
Big plus.
Awesome. So your next step. So a lot of people don't know that you can apply for Bond right now, being a Year 12 student. So all you need to do is just head to our website, choose a program that you'd like to study. I will say this, by picking a program, you are not looking yourself into that program. Changing your degree, and because we do the core curriculums as well, and they'll credit towards any degree, it's far easier to change your degree at Bond, even after you've commenced in your first or second semester, with potentially not losing any time. Basically just get an application in so that you do potentially get access to an early conditional offer. Once you've received your offer, then I guess, being a small university again, our team and the Office of Future Students can really handhold you with regards to submitting your application, accepting your offer, and enrolling as well. We do run a lot of sessions called beginner bond sessions towards the end of the year, where we actually personally invite you, buy your coffee, and walk you through your enrollment towards the end of the year. We have capacity to be able to do that, being a small university as well. So bigger isn't always better. and then get ready for orientation, which will be in January if you're a high school leaver. Mid-January is when we start. So yes, you do get a shorter break, but you get into O weekend classes pretty much straight away from January, but you'll be out quicker as well. So thank you so much for having us, Rob. I'm happy to take any more questions.
There have been a couple that have been on the social channels. I think you mostly covered them though. There was one saying, can I combine degrees or change programs later? Actually, just combine degrees. So you did mention changing degrees, combining degrees though.
Yeah, so we do have double degrees. We also have access to the Transformation Collab, which is where we do have some out of the box degrees as well that you can do. But even doing sequential degrees, they're available there as well. But best thing to do is have a look at our popular degree combinations, and then reach out to our Office of Future Students as well directly to find out if there is something that you want to do out of the box, and we can basically see if we can work with our academics and see if it can be done.
Perfect. So if you're watching on the recording, make sure you snap that, or you're here live, of course, snap that QR code. And also on this page, on the Virtual Expo page, you'll see a little form down the bottom if you prefer to put in your name and email address and any questions that you've got. Shane, one of the Bonds team, will get back to you on that as well. Shane, maybe I can just summarise. So if you're looking for Australia's smallest class sizes, Australia's best teaching, one of the tightest communities that you'll find in any university, free parking and free gym, extracurricular opportunities coming out your nose. Sounds like Bond might be a reasonable choice for you.
Yes, especially if you didn't know about it. So if you didn't know that was an option, and with having access to fee help as well, it might be more attainable than you think.
It's been awesome having you at the National Virtual Expo, Shane. Thank you for coming and telling us a bit more about Bond. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you for having us. I appreciate the time.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching along, got any questions, you can jump in the Choosing Your Uni Discord or in the Facebook group for parents. And once again, if that's like specifically about Bond, you're welcome to do so, or even just general questions about what's uni about, the specific things that you're trying to get answered, just jump in there and ask away. And yeah, it's been great presenting this incredible institution to you this afternoon. I look forward to seeing you later on in the National Virtual Expo. Have a good afternoon. And thank you again, Shane.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for having us.
Well, I hope you got something out of this session. And if you have any questions at all, you can head to choosingyouruni.com and ask Lumen. Lumen is your AI guide who knows about every university, every pathway, every option that we've talked about throughout this virtual expo. And Lumen is available to talk to you 24/7. So it's ready when you are.